What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So we have yet another review, and like I said, I'm going to give you guys some more diversity. However, I have about 15 new Rolexes in stock. I want to do reviews on them, so you're going to see a lot more Rolex. But we have a few other brands in stock. This one is going to be a Vacheron Constantin reference 4500V. Now this one's a little bit more special, so let's jump into it. And as always, if you guys are looking to buy, sell, or trade, or do absolutely anything, reach right out. My phone number is always listed in these videos. Give me a call. I answer phone calls the quickest. But for now, let's start unboxing this 4500V. Now this watch comes as a complete set, and like I said, it is a little bit more special. Obviously we have our suede cloth here, and now let's get out the actual inner box. So generic black cardboard box. Let's open this thing up. Now to me personally, I'm a huge fan when a manufacturer, springs for a little bit extra, nice packaging. So this box, it's obviously wood. It's very similar to a Patek Philippe or maybe even Audemars Piguet. But it's got a nice little design on the front, gloss black box. Let's open this thing up and I'll show you guys exactly what we have. So once again, this is a 4500V with a blue dial. Personally, I don't care what anybody says. This is the best blue dial in the watch game. I don't care about the manufacturer. I don't care about anybody else. This is the nicest blue dial you could get in a watch. Now, of course, everybody knows what the 4500V is. This watch was crazy popular and it was doing numbers. It was going so far over list, I personally couldn't believe it. However, what's special about this watch, it is brand new, unworn, unsized with full stickers. I'll show you guys some close-up shots in a little bit, but this is a true new watch, right? And it's going under list price, comparable to the 4520V, which is the newest reference for this timepiece. Now, personally, I've always liked this watch. I think the build quality that Vacheron puts out is superb. Everything from the movement work to the actual finishing work and design quality of the watch, it's pretty much second to none. On top of all of that, the usability of this watch, it's absolutely amazing. There's tons of cool features that this watch gives you, so we'll get a little bit more into that. But for now, let's see what this watch actually comes with. All right, so here we go. Now we get our first up-close look at the 4500V Vacheron Constantin. And once again, I don't care what anybody says, this is the nicest blue dial in a watch. I wish that the lighting was a little bit better, because if you catch this thing in the right light, it is so vivid, vibrant, and just screams blue. Nobody else, no other manufacturer is doing anything like this, and that's why I like this watch so much. But now let's start getting into the technical breakdown of this timepiece. Now the Vacheron Overseas is entirely constructed out of stainless steel. Now there is no precious metal on this watch until we get to the inside. However, the 41mm case, it is finished perfectly. The build quality is superb. It genuinely is. We have a nice lapped surface going down, and then we have very nice high polished chamfers, which carry over to the sides of the case. Now, when we look at our bezel, it is comprised of two separate pieces. This top outer ring is done in a high polish, while the bottom portion of the bezel is finished in a satin radial finish. It gives a nice two-tone contrast, and it works perfectly with the lapped portion of the mid case. Now, we have a sapphire crystal with AR coating. As you guys can see there, it is reflecting the light. But as we go below the crystal, we have what's known as the watch dial. Once again, a very nice vivid blue color and a nice sunburst effect. Now we have white gold luminous markers as well as white gold hands. Now we have three separate hands for this watch. We have an hour hand, a minute hand, as well as our seconds hand. These are made out of white gold and have the same matching luminous inlay. Now, unlike a Rolex, our date window has zero magnification, and honestly, it is perfectly legible, and you can see right through the crystal and read what the date is. What's so special about this specific watch? It is from 2021, and it still retains all of its original factory stickers. The entire bracelet is fully stickered, fully taped up, including the inner buckle, as well as our case back. Full stickers throughout the entire watch. Once again, unsized, unworn, and true new. Now this is a discontinued reference, as it was replaced with the 4520V, and finding another one in this condition, well, I'd say there probably are not many. Now powering this watch, it has an in-house Vacheron Constantin caliber 5100, which is an automatic movement. That's evident by our rotor back there. That's what's actually charging up the barrel and mainspring. But this has three separate settings. So now we take the crown and unscrew it counterclockwise. Now if we roll it forward, we have the winding position. Now, as you spin the crown clockwise, we are now winding this watch. If you grab the crown, pull it out to the second position, we can now rapidly change our date. Now, if you pull the crown all the way out, this will be our last and final position. Our second hand will still run, but we can now change the time. And that's all there is to the caliber 5100, which is an in-house Vacheron movement. And if I might add, it is actually very reliable. Now, as we get to our bracelet, once again, this is entirely constructed out of stainless steel. It has a very nice design, almost looks like the top portion, or at least if you cut a Maltese cross in half. Our inner buckle, this is a butterfly style buckle, which, as you guys can see, we press in these two indentations and the buckle springs open. We have the cross logo on the clasp here, and then same thing for the other side, once again, fully stickered, unworn. Now on the inside of the buckle, obviously we're going to have some engravings, as you guys can see here, still fully stickered, and it's just a very nice clasp design. It's very reliable, but one of the best features about this watch is going to do with the bracelet. Now, if you notice up here, we have two release tabs. Now, the Vacheron, to me, in my opinion, this is the most user-friendly watch for this specific reason. Now, this watch features a quick release bracelet system where all you'd have to do, pull in on this tab, and then you could slide off the bracelet. I mean, how cool is that? Absolutely no tools required, and it's very simple to use. There's absolutely nothing here that you could break, so this is easy enough for anyone. You could change straps, which this watch does come with. Now, while we have the bracelet off, I'll give you guys a closer look of this caliber 5100. Now, once again, this is an automatic movement. As we can see here, a solid gold rotor, perfectly finished, and tons of detail. Honestly, Vacheron does a phenomenal job with these movements. The detail, the finishing work, everything is absolutely perfect. Now, it is automatic, so as you guys can see, the rotor spinning around is what's charging our barrel, which charges the mainspring. That's how your watch stays running as you wear it throughout the day. Now, this watch also has a 60-hour power reserve, and once again, we have 3 positions on it. It's a very reliable movement, and it's very user-friendly. Quite literally the best feature about this watch, there is an array of different bracelet options. So now, as you guys can see, we have no bracelet on the watch. We have removed the full metal bracelet in a matter of seconds. So we could push this off to the side, and then we could check out what this watch also comes with. So our first strap here is going to be the blue rubber strap. This is full on factory sealed and has never been opened. But let's say you don't want to wear it on metal today. You could go ahead, swap in a rubber strap, and now you have a blue rubber on your blue dial watch. Now, this watch also comes with the original fully factory sealed and fully factory stickered buckle. Now, this is going to go with probably my favorite strap, so let's pull that one out. Now, this, without a doubt, is one of the most classy straps that you could use. This is the navy blue crocodile leather strap, and it is absolutely gorgeous. Once again, it's still fully sealed up. Otherwise, I would show you guys a close-up. However, this goes with this buckle, and it'll also work with the rubber strap. Now, to me personally, this is such a bargain for this watch, specifically because the usability. If you're going out, you're dressing up, maybe you're going to a wedding, you could slap on a leather strap. Maybe you're going out for some drinks, you could go ahead and put a rubber strap on it. Now, there's also a bunch of different color straps that are made for this watch, and that's kind of the best thing about it. If you're tired of wearing a full metal bracelet, this watch gives you so much flexibility, and it is so easy to work with. Now, of course, we get to the biggest question. Now, as you guys can see here, I do have a small wrist. However, I wear a rose gold Sky Dweller. This watch is absolutely massive, but I absolutely love it. I don't really care. There's no overhang on this watch. So let's see how a reference 4500V fits on me. Now, once again, this is a 42mm watch with a pretty thick mid case. Our 4500V is a 41mm mid case. Now, obviously, I'm not going to size this to my wrist. However, this watch fits perfectly. Now, it's very ergonomically shaped, and I think it hugs the wrist perfectly, similar to an AP. The sides of the case, basically the lugs, they have a downward fit. Now, with the integrated style bracelet, as you guys can see, I think this watch fits me perfectly. It's not raised majorly above my wrist. It's not hitting the hand here. And honestly, I don't think it fits that bad at all. I mean, 41 millimeters, it'll fit perfectly. It'll fit just about anybody as well. So if you are thinking of getting into a 4500V, however, you're hung up on the 41 millimeter mid case, I can assure you, I have a small wrist, but I still wear bigger watches. And to me, you guys be the judge, I think that this watch fits perfectly. So that was the basic overview of the reference 4500V. Personally, I genuinely like this watch. Now we're going to get to 3 separate grading criterias. First is going to be the overall design, the actual looks of the watch. How is it made? How does it built? How does it feel? Now, to me personally, I've said it in the beginning of this video, I think Vacheron does a phenomenal build quality on every single watch. Very, very rarely do I see any type of quality control issues with a VC, so that's a major plus. I mean, the overall design, lots of high polish, lots of satin finishes, lots of brushing, and once again, that blue dial. Nobody else is doing anything like this, and that's what makes this watch stand apart. Grading part number 2, this is going to be the functionality, usability of the timepiece, and personally, this is without a doubt the most user-friendly and you have more options than any other watch realistically. And I mean, right off the bat, you already get 2 separate strap options, leather, rubber. I mean, it's just so damn simple. It's ridiculously simple to use. I know Cartier Santos is pretty similar, but I mean, the quick release, it literally takes you about 10 seconds to swap out straps. You don't need any special tools. You don't need any watchmaking history, and you're not going to damage anything on the watch. You're not going to put a scratch on it. You don't have to use a screwdriver. That, to me, I feel like every watch brand should be doing something like this, or at least incorporating this into their design. Especially if you want to give people different options that they could choose from. Fantastic all the way around. Now, the usability, it's very simple to use, similar to a Datejust or any time and date complication watch only. 3 separate positions on the crown, winding, quick set, and then our time changing capabilities. Very easy. A person, even a new watch buyer, you're not going to get lost trying to figure this watch out and make it work correctly. Now, lastly, I want to go over where these are currently at in the market, and is it actually a good buy? Now, to me, the 4500, the 4520, I've always thought that they've, it was retailed a little bit high, $26,000, $27,000. I thought it was a little bit crazy for something you could compare it to a Datejust. Obviously, the blue dial being what it is, it does give it a little bit more of a cool factor, and it being obviously other than Rolex, Vacheron Constantin, you're going to have a significantly better built watch. Now, this watch right here, 2021, complete set, fully stickered, unworn, unsized. This watch is going to be up on the website for $24,500. Now, to me, that is a smoking deal considering you could pick a 2019 of this up, pre-owned, in decent enough condition, for about $22,000, $22,500 wholesale. Realistically, I think it's adequately priced. I think you are getting pure value for what you're paying for. $24,000, if I had to put this up side by side with any other steel, quote-unquote sports model, I think this is probably the best way to spend the money. Now, as for value retention, this has always been the flagship for the 4500s as well as the 4520. Blue dial, anything a little bit more out there is always going to retain its value better, and they've done phenomenal over the last few years. Now, to me, if somebody buys this watch, you need to get the very vibrant, very nice orange strap, very similar to a 5968 from Patek. They make an orange strap for the Vacheron models, and it looks absolutely wild with the blue dial. Absolutely sets it off, and it makes it a really fun watch to wear. Now, overall, I think the fit, everything about it, this just screams high horology to me, and it's just a very nice watch. But as always, let me know what you guys think about this watch down below in the comments. Thank you for watching, and don't forget, buying, selling, trading, reach right out, and I will catch you guys on the next one.